you brought back the blue. So I have this tweet here from Brianna Joy Gray.
Oh boy.
She said, Marjorie Taylor Greene is right about the FBI, bad faith or not. In today's radar, I argue that the left should take advantage of the right's new acknowledgement of systemic bias and push to abolish the FBI, an institution that has always protected elite power, not the people. My response to this was fire emojis.
I know. I
completely agree.
I was thinking that too. I was like, I'm actually that appeals to me. But I mean, I think that I disagree a little bit about the fact that both sides want stability. I don't think that the other side wants stability. I think they want to remake the world. But this is not that. This is an appreciation and understanding that the FBI at least is. Maybe
Brianna Joy Gray and the left perspective on this is we need to tear down the system to rebuild a new one. Don't know, don't care. If we look at the FBI and we're like, hey, there's corruption going on there, we should defund that and dismantle it. And they say, yeah, we also want to. I'd be like, well, if we agree on that, we're fine moving forward. We'll figure it out afterwards.
Well, then here's the problem. Then what comes next?
Yeah, right. Like a new organization that's even less accountable.
Yeah.
That we don't even know about.
And that tracks our every movement.
You can't say we should not do away with corrupt institutions because of fear of more corrupt institutions. Like we're actually taking action to get rid of the corrupt institution.
Yeah, but you can't take a wheel off the car mid drive.
Yeah, you have to know.
Is that what the FBI is?
It's one of the wheels.
Are they that
on the
important for the United States? Have they been investigating Antifa? Have they been holding people accountable? Have they been going after Hunter Biden?
Nope.
And I mean, no. Well, we may see something with Hunter Biden, but it's been a really long time and only because of public scrutiny.
Right.
So I'm not convinced that, first, I'll say, I don't think the entirety of the FBI is corrupt. I think there's different people in different field offices. I've actually talked with people who, there's like lower level people who
there's
have,
critics.
They have similar politics to you. The culture war is in every facet of the government as well. But I just don't know if the FBI does enough to warrant any of this.
I mean, it's a secretive operation. That's part of the problem and the strength of it.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying no one knows. I'm saying we have repeatedly asked questions for years. Why have they not done this, that, or otherwise? Yet they have time to send a dozen agents to a garage over a pull rope. Mm-hmm. That is shockingly insane.
You talking about the Jussie Smollett case?
No, I'm talking about the
Bubba Watson. Right?
Was that his name? I don't know.
He's
The
a NASCAR
driver
Bubba
said
something.
there was a noose in his garage, and so they sent a dozen agents. And what did they find? It was a garage pull rope. It was the door pull rope.
Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace. It's insane. And then they go and Merrick Garland signs off on raiding the former president's home. And we're sitting here being like, let's contemplate whether they're an organization worth funding. No. There's no question. Yeah. The left has long talked about all of the malfeasance. They talk about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X as really big examples. And I'm like, sure, fine, whatever. Yeah, defund them, dismantle them. Or maybe we can start by reducing through a moderate defunding and reduction of the FBI force.
Yeah. I mean, I think the FBI, there's two problems. One of them is it's the problem of every government institution. It's just bureaucratic bloat and stupid people get promoted and your expertise and it's not a meritocracy is basically what I'm saying. I think that's a number one problem. But I think that in the last 5 years, one of the things that has become extremely apparent is that the people who are in charge, like the grown-ups in charge, I always thought that there was grown-ups in charge. And then, like, Comey, he started talking and you were like, oh my God, you had a lot of power and you are a total nut job. But it's all of these people who were in the top rungs of power who are nut jobs. George Conway is another one.
Peter
freaking nut job.
I was concerned with Adam Kinzinger. I don't know him personally, but I've been seeing his tweets, and I think he's isolated. There seems to be like a bubble that some of these people are existing in right now, that they think it's really what life is about red and blue, Democrat, Republican thing. But that's like an infinitesimally small part of reality.
Yeah.
This human thing is not that big a part of reality. We need to really kind of get outside of our own butthole, if you know what I'm talking about, and look outside. But that's what I said, bubble. That's what I said, butthole. Yeah, we need to de-investigate ourselves for a moment and look around at the universe, because things are flying around at 100 million miles per hour and can slam into Earth at any moment, and we got to be prepared for that kind of thing.
And that is an important mentality for people to realize. Like, you can find purpose outside of all of this. Most of these Democrats, this is their life, their religion, their purpose. They have nothing else. Maybe if they got interested in the stars, they might be like, yo, I don't care about this. I want to look in a telescope. Instead, their whole world, I'll put it this way, politics has become pop culture.
Yeah.
That's the danger.
It's true. Yeah.
And public health has become part of their identity too. I mean, COVID gave them a religion, like Mazel tov. I'm so happy that for you. You finally have found faith, and it's in the form of virus mitigation.
Yep.
Although the CDC relaxed guidelines, I don't know if that's come up yet. We talked about it before the show.
It hasn't. I think
Officially, that was according to NPR. They reported on that today. Maybe we can go into that later a little bit.
I just can't help thinking with the FBI, there's so much clear and evident malice. You can look at Peter Strzok. I just cherished the way he smirked. It was insane. He looked ideologically
These
possessed.
people, and Blasey Ford did the same thing. They do this thing where they look in the camera and they look down and go,
what the? What is
like,
that?
Are you imagining you're the Wicked Witch of the West
They're
or something?
practicing for Halloween.
A problem is the camera's above, like what we got on the show, so it's looking down at them, so you see like their
I think
eyes
that's
looking
the
up.
problem.
Like,
None of us have ever
part of
done
the problem.
that.
We don't look to the camera, turn our heads
Yes.
down,
Oh my
look up, and then go,
God.
"Nyeh."
Speak for yourself, Tim.
So
That's
creepy.
on the thumbnail
We don't do
of
that.
This episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're not hiding stuff. I mean,
Why are they doing
not
that?
more than a normal person would hide some, menial personal or private things
Weird.
on TV, but like I think these people have to have secret. That's their job, is like secrecy. Half these people in the government, the CIA, secrecy organization.
Oh, it's all
FBI.
secrets.
Yeah, so
and
they're-
that's the remarkable thing. Is like anytime anyone from the government comes out and says words, like, why would you believe them? They have a whole system of keeping information a secret from you. They're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who go to the White House press conference, do you really think any White House press secretary at any point ever is going to tell you the truth? I'm sorry, if you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you.
You think the first one did? Who
No.
was the first one?
No.
I'm gonna look it
I
up.
mean, the thing is, the government trades in strategically releasing information. So why would that be true in foreign policy and not true in our domestic media? Like, why would we be like, oh yes, American people, I'm going to be on national TV and I'm going to tell you the truth, but don't tell anyone else because that'll reveal our big plan. Like, we can't reasonably expect our government to be honest with us and also be openly telling everyone, all of our adversaries, like what's truly going on with us. Like, that
Right.
seems like a terrible plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I judge all of the press secretaries by their ability to lie.
Yes.
And
that's their job.
and to spin.
100%.
And some of them are good and some of them are not good. And
Have you had a favorite?
oh gosh, so Sarah Huckabee Sanders was fantastic. Nothing. The key is, and I think it's the bunch of kids. Nothing. She was
her?
unflat. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was unflappable. She was
Yeah.
like, "Come at me.
Yeah,
Someone
whatever.
peed at me on my foot today."
Kayleigh McEnany was fantastic with
She
the
was
book.
so good.
Being like,
yeah.
here's the story right
Yeah,
here.
she was.
Yes, you're wrong.
Yep.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
But Jen Psaki wasn't bad.
She was
No,
good
she
too,
wasn't.
Yeah,
She wasn't.
people, you might not like her, but her ability to spin quickly and create sound bites, she know how to do it.
Yeah.
This current lady,
Terrible.
she's
oh
terrible.
man,
Poor lady.
she's
And you know
bad
why
at
she's
this.
terrible? Because they did a checklist. They're like, well, she checks the LGBTQ and she checks the woman and she checks, but they didn't actually like have a check mark for
Charisma.
merit
Or
Yeah.
for
temperament.
talent or anything.
Yeah.
She's just completely inept.
I feel bad.
I know. I mean, she's
I
in
know.
over her head, and she was chosen because she hit all of those little boxes.
And she has been, from what I know about her career, I mean, she's been fairly insulated. She's been with the Democratic movement for so
Right,
long.
right.
I think people who are farther on the outside of the shell have to learn how to spar a little bit more. And I think, to her credit, that's where
Yeah.
Jen Psaki's background came from.
Yeah.
Whereas with Corinne Jean-Pierre, like, no, she
Yeah.
has been with the movement. She knows the sound bites, and when challenged, she really struggles.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think that's actually a skill of like Pete Buttigieg, because he like was in Middle America and had to actually talk to people with whom he disagreed. It makes you sharper. I mean,
does.
that's how I felt.
100%.
I went to Rutgers University with like every lib on planet Earth except James O'Keefe.
You know what really works though is believing what you're saying.
Yes, that helps.
Because
and
then-
knowing what you're saying.
Because then you don't need a book. I mean, it's nice to
Yep.
have notes, but you don't need to look at them if you just glance down and then
Yeah.
talk about what you know.
I mean, Jean-Pierre with the formula stuff, she genuinely had no answer. She didn't know that there was a formula crisis.
Right.
She didn't know the plan. Like, she did not. There was nothing not to believe. She just didn't know it.
For the record, Andrew Johnson was the first president to grant a formal interview to a reporter.
Wow.
That was 1869-ish. Yeah, so before that, I guess they didn't even talk to the media for the first 60, 70 years.
It's kind of crazy if you think about it.
I mean,
like
we
you
know
have
that's
no
what we
idea
have
what
now.
they're doing.
I mean, when
Yeah.
was the last time Biden spoke to anyone? He rarely
Yeah,
talks
press
to
conference.
He
media.
yells, "Come on, man," quite a bit, you know.
With a helicopter, like.
And I
behind.
would argue too, the first 50, 60 years, media was really different than what it is
Yeah,
today.
radio and
True.
TV have changed a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to get a journalist to a president to then put a paper out that would then, like, by the time it reached anyone, be like 3 weeks old.
And I mean, radio and TV is the reason why Hitler was able to mass the population so fast, and it's super dangerous tech. I understand why there's censorship and why the CIA is involved with, you know, the PRISM thing, and they want to oversee and make sure. But like, we should talk more about the power of TV and video. I think maybe not today, but
I
just
think-
in life.
TV was more powerful than social media. With TV, you had 5
voice,
channels,
yeah.
starting with 3 channels, then 5. So all of the messaging was distilled through the trusted names in news or whatever. Then the internet happened, and you can reach people faster, but now you've got too many channels.
Yeah.
And they're all just
All these
I
holes
think-
busted on the dam and trying
Yeah.
to plug them. Like, we have conventional fingers. We don't know how to plug all these at once.
I
Let's
think about
make an
that with,
algorithm.
like the TikTok algorithm. People can get, you know, the more they use it, the more
Right.
it knows them. And so it feeds them to like Edgar Allan Poe TikTok. Like that person is not getting the same content that
Right.
like you would get or you
Yeah.
would get.
That's true
it's
for all
totally
the
thing.
platforms.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But TikTok is especially talented at it. There was the Wall Street Journal story about like young teenagers, 13, 14 years old, and they lingered on one pornographic video and then they were just inundated with more and more pornographic content. Yeah.
That sounds like they're not better at it.
No, they're very good at it because they got the kids hooked on the app. And it was because they just, if you lingered 0.3 seconds
It's like
longer.
every second on TikTok, there is more valuable to them, especially because the media is so short, which
Right.
keeps you scrolling faster. Whereas like YouTube, you may have to watch, you know, you watch one video, it might feed you another. You watch 10 videos, it'll feed you a
Right,
a
but
lot
I mean,
more.
these videos are over an hour. Like, you really have to invest some time. But you
Yep.
can have like total ADD on TikTok.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.